2004. The well-known social media app Facebook is released, the popular TV show Friends reaches its end, and Shrek 2 graces theaters. But most importantly for us, a little-known Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends merchandise range, known as the Interactive Learning Railway, is released. Now, if you've never heard of this line before, you're certainly not alone. An odd blend of Thomas Learning Railway and Take-Along. There's certainly a lot to talk about here. I mean, why was it discontinued so quickly? Why are some items from the line so much rarer than others? Was it even good? Well, without further ado, I'm Jaden, aka the Wooden Wilbert, and this is a brief retrospective of the Thomas Interactive Learning Railway line. In 2004, Learning Curve, the creator of popular merchandise range Thomas Learning Railway, had developed two new ranges known as Take-Along and the Interactive Learning Railway. Take-Along was a preschool-focused die-cast range similar to its predecessor the Erdl range, and was released in the spring of 2004. Trainboy06 made a great video on Take-Along, and I'd recommend checking it out after you finish this video. The Interactive Learning Railway was based on the premise of teaching children with unique technology built into the destinations and engines. All interactive railway destinations would have built-in sensors to speak to the engines and give them jobs and praise. This was intended to teach children the value of hard work and of being a really useful engine. In August, the brand launched with 3 sets, 4 destinations, and 4 quote-unquote vehicle packs. 3 packs featuring an engine and some rolling stock. The 4 engines released first were Thomas, Percy, James, and Gordon. Their designs had similar bodies, couplings, and buffers to the Take-Along range, and similar track, chassis, and wheels to the Wooden Railway. Sometime early in 2005, they introduced a Henry pack, a Toby pack, and 2 new destinations. This bit of history explains why, if you were to quickly search on eBay for example, Henry and Toby are quite a bit harder to find than their predecessors. However, the line did not sell as well as the Learning Curve had hoped. It was eventually discontinued in the spring of 2005, less than a year after it had initially launched.
Well, if that doesn't take the biscuit.
However, the idea behind the line wasn't entirely lost. 4 years later, in 2008, Thomas Learning Railway released a new line known as the Talking Railway, in which the speaking engines and destinations function in a similar way to the Interactive Learning Railway line that came before. However, this too was discontinued only 2 years later in 2010. So anyway, let's talk about the line. I recently acquired a good amount of interactive railway destinations and engines, which inspired me to make this video. To me at least, the engines look oddly plasticky, but they are in fact made out of fully die-cast metal, which is the exact same material used for Take-Along models. There's no wood used anywhere in the range, as the engines are metal and the destinations and track are fully made out of plastic. Currently, I have Percy, Henry, James, the barrel loader, the engine wash, the coal loader, the water tower, and the conductor's shed, but I'm on the lookout for the rest of them. But what do I think of this obscure line of Thomas merchandise range? Well, let me tell you. Honestly, I have a strange obsession with the Interactive Learning Railway. It has an odd charm to it. It takes 2004 Learning Curve's scale of Thomas merchandise and a combination of 2 of the most beloved lines and blends them together. However, it could be argued that the Interactive Learning Railway is cheaper than the norm for Learning Curve at the time because of the heavy use of plastic for the buildings, but at least they decided to introduce it separately instead of replacing an existing line of merchandise, unlike some people. The main feature of the range, the talking and sound effects, are pretty neat. Well, what else can I say about it? It's a cool idea that I think was executed pretty well. They used some sort of metal device linked to a sound box and a destination to create them, which works most of the time. One thing I don't really like about it, however, is that all the engines share the same whistle. Just feels a bit lazy, like they could have coded the metal device thing to be different for every engine, right? And let's just admit, this range is just really weird. But anyway, I do still love these little obscure guys, for all the flaws they may have. And that's it. That's the video. What do you think of the interactive learning relay? Wow, that's a mouthful, huh? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, maybe even subscribing. Nonetheless, thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Goodbye!